Hi everyone, it's Rachel and Jess. We're here today with today being Valentine's Day, and we just wanted to talk about supporting people to have intimate relationships. According to our POM data for 2018, 52% of people interviewed had outcomes and supports met in the area of people have intimate relationships.
So we're going to be talking about people having intimate relationships today, which can sound really scary because a lot of times people think that has to do with somebody having a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, or even a sexual relationship. But it's so much more than that. It's about trust. It's about confiding in people and having a real connection that goes above and beyond a friendship. So what we want to do is we want to give you 5 tips on how to support people, whether you are a staff, a family member, or just somebody in someone we support's life, so you can support them to have the relationships that they want. All right. So tip 1. All right. Keep an open mind. We don't ever want to make assumptions about people. That can be really dangerous. So we want to go in with an open mind. We want to be accepting and open and really ready for anything that they're going to be able to confide and tell us. So that brings us to the second one, which is conversation should be private. You don't want to break anybody's trust. You don't want to be announcing things. You don't want to make that person feel ashamed of anything that they want to discuss with you. So it's always best to have conversations regarding relationships or intimate relationships in private. Tip 3, that's check your values at the door. We talk about that a lot because the values that we have might be very different than the people that we support. So you really need to kind of leave those when you come into the workplace to be able to support the people that you're working with. Now we have tip 4. That's listen. Sometimes we listen with the intent of answering rather than the intent of learning. Okay, so we want to learn from the things that people are telling us, and we want to find out really what's important to them, and that will in turn help us support them even more, and especially in that area. And then tip 5, informed choice. This one is so important because we want people to be able to make decisions and choices in their lives after having what we call the 3 E's: experience, education, and exposure. Okay, we want them to have the same opportunities in their life that we've had, and we're going to do that through the supports that we're providing them. So that's it for your 5 tips. Do you have anything else?
Yes, according to the Council on Quality Leadership Capstone e-newsletter titled Let's Talk About Intimacy, when an organization understands and knows the person's preferences, assists the person to explore and evaluate experiences, and provide support to the person to pursue, form, and maintain intimate relationships, that person is 6 times more likely to have an intimate relationship.
So when we sit down to do personal outcome measure interviews with people, our real goal is to find out how that person defines intimacy. So it's really important to remember that everybody defines intimacy, whether they communicate with us verbally, whether it's through gestures, whether it's through vocalizations, whether they want companionship, a long-term relationship, or somebody that's just a little bit more than a friend. How are people defining intimacy? So we're going to ask questions about the outcome, which is how the person defines it, and then the supports, which is the team that makes up the people that we support. So some of the questions that we might ask on the outcome side are, who are you closest to in your life, and can you depend on them in times of need? We might ask questions such as, if you were having a really bad day and just needed to get something off your chest or vent, who is that person that you would go to, call, text, etc.? We might ask questions about privacy or ask them if they have a special someone in their life and what their expectations of that relationship might be. So, what do you do with your significant other? What are your goals for your relationship? Are you able to do the things that you want to be able to do with them? So really that's the outcome bit, and then we switch over to the support questions.
Yes, so some questions we might ask the follow-up person is, what supports does this person need to initiate or maintain the intimate relationships in their life? We also want to find out if opportunities for education have been provided to the person. So whether they need education on how to initiate and maintain relationships, or information on how to have an intimate relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. We also want to identify barriers that exist. And if we do find that there are barriers, we want to find out what is being done to address those. We also like to ask, do you know how the person defines intimacy? So it's important that the support and the person we support are on the same page with that, so we can help them achieve their goals and help things be met for them in regards to an intimate relationship.
Yeah. So really, the main goal is to find out on the outcome side how that person defines intimacy, which, like we said, is defined by that person. And then we check with the support. So we want to make sure that the things that are important to the person and things that they want in their life and their needs are being met by the support, and that those supports are robust. As you can see with these questions, it really is just far more than the assumption of a sexual relationship. It's really that trust, that companionship, the things that go so much beyond that. Yeah. All right, so there you have it. We've given you some information, some tips, and now you're ready to support the people you work with or the people in your lives so they can have the relationships that they want to. And hopefully you can take this and go and run with it. And have a great Valentine's Day, everybody.